G'day guys, what's cracking? It's Ralph here, and by the end of this video I'm going to give one of these away, so stick around while we talk about the XBotGo AI Cameraman. Now this is the gimbal. It looks very similar to a DJI Pocket, except its predominant mission is to capture sporting events. Yes. The idea is that you put your phone into this gimbal. Let's have a look at it, see how it goes. See, it comes in this nice little foam box, and you pop it up, locks like that. Spins round, you've got your phone holder just there. You have your front and your back, like a little bit of a trigger, and obviously it spins round like so, and you have your controls here, your power button there. Comes with a handy little tripod stand in case you don't have one, so we're going to use that now. Pop it down like that so we can actually talk about this. Before I forget to, nice little funky bag that you can carry around in, keep it nice and safe. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get my phone and take the case off your phone. These things are always ideal with no case involved unless you absolutely have to have it. There's instructions here, a little arrow, and it says this is where you insert your camera. It fits in, the phone fits in really nicely, slides along. It's got a groove so it can handle the buttons on the side of your phone. And what you want is that smack bang in the center with your camera sitting correlated to where the arrow says to sit. So yep, we're about balanced. Let me just have a look at that. Feels about right. We're ready to go. You press go by turning it on and you are away. It automatically faces this forward, so it's shooting all in alignment. And if I click the on button once, it makes it to a horizontal orientation. So I can then just use this to hold my phone steady as I shoot sports like this with my generic camera. But guys, it can do so much more than that. It's really cool. Now, let me just run you through. It has this joystick here, so you can tilt up, you can tilt down, you can move to the side, you can move to this side. So you can have full manual feel if you want. And if you click this left menu button, it brings it back nice and stationary. The whole thing is actually quite light. It only weighs this, and it's very handy. Can fit in your pocket or in your bag. You can carry it around, do whatever you like with it. You can even mount it on a tripod, and that's where it comes into its own. So the device was created to put your phone in and film sports when you're right at the edge of the field or the court or the rink. So it's not for like professional sports. You wouldn't take this to a footy game or basketball, that where it's all happening a long way away from you. It's kids sports or adult sports where you want to capture the action. What you do is you take the legs off, you place this on a tripod, you then search for the gimbal on your Bluetooth connection. All quite simple. Once you've done that, you can turn on the app. Once you fire up the app, this is the screen that you're looking at, and it'll tell you down here if it's connected, and mine is connected. If it's not, simply go back to your Bluetooth, restart that, restart your app, and it'll connect, no worries. Then we go to the shooting screen and we get to choose what mode we want. And so you can choose between soccer, basketball, power soccer, football, which is gridiron equivalent primarily, lacrosse, ice hockey, or single mode. Single mode might be you want to watch someone play tennis and watch them move around that space, or not chess, something other. What other single person sports can you think of that you should put in the comments below? So in my case, I coach an OzTag team, and I want to take some of the footage of that game and see how it went. So OzTag isn't an option here, but it's closest to American football, to gridiron, which is why I selected gridiron. Once I selected gridiron, because gridiron's the closest equivalent to how people move and the formations that take place on the field, that's what I was thinking. I then have to choose what sort of field size it is, and depending on which option you choose, let me just go back. You can choose soccer, and I get a different series of fields that I can choose. And then I choose my age range. So I've got little tackers, and they run around the field differently to adults who play the same sport. So keep that in mind as well. Then you simply go start, and it brings up your field of view. So let me just jump to a little bit of mucking about we did this morning. I asked my son to run around like a madman with his footy and see how it went. I put this on the tripod. We're off and racing, and as you can see, the results were a little bit staggered. When he ran off frame or out of frame, the camera struggled to pick him up and follow him. Now, it was on a group soccer match rather than an individual, so you need to take that into account. But I thought it'd be interesting, how does it track when kids are just playing sport? I think if you went to the individual setting, you'd be able to pick up a lot more of what was taking place for them as they're running around, in case you want to do some training with them and coach them in that way later on. So obviously when you're shooting sport, you want to make sure your orientation is horizontal. You want to make sure the phone is smack bang in the center, otherwise it will fall off kilter. You also need to be aware when you're shooting this sport that how you set up your camera is how it is, and you only get one size frame. So you can't zoom in at all. It doesn't have that capacity yet. It just holds the wideness because sport is a wide game. So you will lack some of the detail. And right now you're like, can you give us an example of what it actually looks like? Well, here, folks, is what it looks like. I'm just going to chat over this as you sort of monitor what you think about this. The ideal position for this is smack bang on the center line. Now, it depends a lot on what sort of sport you're playing. The sport I play, they already have something occupying the center line right at the sideline, which I can't use, so I had to set up next to that. It still performed remarkably well. This is on fast forward, so you can just track through how it goes, and also you'll see that you're not able to recognize who the kids are that are playing. That's because we have privacy laws in Australia preventing us from identifying children. So make sure you take that into account when you're filming your own children's sports. You will notice sometimes it picks up potential players who are closer to the camera and their movements, or the referee, for example, rather than the ball that you might be most keen on. But this is AI powered, so it has the capacity to be updated and improved as you go through, and at the same time it does all the hard work for you so you can review the match later on. My critique of it so far would be that it would be great if you had a zoom in function, because it feels like you're a long way away from the action, especially when the action's happening on the other side of the field. It would be great if the AI was built into the zoom so you could zoom in and you could zoom out. This particular gimbal isn't ideal for just running around like you would with a DJI Pocket. No, the XBotGo performs best when it's on a tripod, when the controls are facing to you, so the gimbal is facing forward, and you leave it to its own devices.
Get in there, dive!
Oh,
Well done.
You could also live stream with this, and what you need to realize is once it's taken the video, it stores that video in your camera in the app. And so you then have to go into the app, and then you get to choose whether you stream it or you upload it or you download it or you delete it or whatever you want to do with it, which are what these options allow for right here. What else? Do you like my new lighting setup? Trying something a little bit different. A couple of camera angles. See how we go. You can also, as I alluded to before, you can live stream this. So you can live stream it to anywhere you want. You can have it as a particular angle that's set up on the field and live streams for family at home, or for, you know, if you want to broadcast. I'm not sure you use a phone and that sort of setup for a broadcasting situation. But if you were responsible for the sport, parents wanted that to be televised to a private link, you could set this up on the sidelines. Be careful that a ball or a person doesn't crash into it, because you need to be right on the sideline. That's really important. But you can see how it's performed in that space. It also has battery indicator lights on the front of the unit, which tell you how much battery you have left, and when that gets down you need to plug a USB-C in, which goes into the plug just next to the controls. You turn it off by simply holding down the on and off button, and it all goes limp and you can fold it away. So how was that? What do you think? You might be asking, talk us through like how firm is the clip that holds it on? Well, it's pretty firm. Like, it's pretty firm, but it's not impossible. You know, some of them are impossible. So this is like, it's not going to fall out. Your phone is completely safe in that space. But also, I just noticed if you go like this and you're walking around like this, it struggles. Now, yeah, it doesn't like being round the wrong way. So you might think, oh, I could buy this and use it as a portable gimbal too. you will struggle to have that experience. And then finally, this button here, the trigger button, allows you to record. Now, once the Bluetooth connected, you can use your generic camera app to click record on this, and it will fire up the recording. Just got a little bit distracted because my other camera, the battery's died. So I'm with you guys. Thankfully, I've got 2 cameras happening today. So what do you think? If you would like one of these, I'm going to get one sent to you. XBotGo have said, look, we'd love to support the channel. We'd love to encourage your viewers. So if that's you, like and subscribe this video, ring the bell, and put downstairs in the comments why you would like this gimbal. And I will, if you've answered that question, I will choose one of those responses at random and I will send it to you. Unless one of those responses really captures my attention. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. And then I'll send it to you. Make sure you keep an eye out on the actual comments, because that's how I'm going to be able to connect with you. I'll comment back to your thing. In the past, we've had these sort of giveaways and I've commented back and no one's ever said anything. So they've missed out and I've given it to somebody else. So if it's you, I don't want you to miss out. I want you to get the most of it. Thanks, XBotGo, for sending this to me. It's a cool little bit of a gear and really handy if you do a lot of kids sports, if you're coaching kids sports, if you're a grandparent and you really want to capture those memories, or you're a parent that's just like either wants to help your child improve, or you want to just capture those memories so that later on when they're a mega star, you can go, this is where it all began, with an XBotGo gimbal that was AI powered. And they'll be like, AI powered? Wow, what was that? Because they'll have the new thing, whatever that is. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. This predominant, oh my goodness.